Now listen here for a minute, kiddo. I didn't put this video together just to hear myself talk. I made it because I've lived long enough to see how money can slip through a person's fingers like water if they're not paying attention. And I care about that future version of you. The one who's trying to build a life, take care of a family, and sleep sound at night without worrying about the bills. So pull up a chair, because I'm going to walk you through 7 sneaky little money mistakes most folks don't even realize they're making. These aren't the loud, obvious ones everybody yaps about. These are the quiet troublemakers that nibble away at your wallet year after year. And I'm not just pointing out the problems, I'm going to show you the simple, steady, good old-fashioned behavioral rules that'll help you fix them for good. The kind of wisdom your grandpa would pass down on a Sunday afternoon. Practical, tested, and meant to keep you out of the same potholes he fell into. So settle in. This might just save your future self a whole lot of headaches. If you want to stop working harder for less, stop letting your own brain sabotage your savings and investments, and learn how to build real lasting wealth, stay right here. I promise. The next 25 minutes will change how you think about money forever. Stay with me until the end, because the final one is the silent killer of dreams, and almost nobody sees it coming until it's too late. When I was a young man, I believed the story everyone tells. Work hard, get paid more, upgrade your life, and everything will be fine. I learned the hard way that life doesn't reward good intentions alone. Life rewards discipline, planning, and the quiet practice of making better decisions day after day. I earned raises, I spent raises, I felt richer, and then realized I was poorer in all the places that matter, the places your future counts on: savings, investments, peace of mind. In simple words, money problems usually start in the head. Your brain is wired for survival, for immediate satisfaction, not for compounding interest and 30-year plans. That means you have to outsmart your own wiring. If you don't, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to show you the exact traps and the exact rules that pull people out. First, understand this. A lot of people think the problem is income. They believe if they just made more money, everything would be fine. But facts are stubborn. More than 1 in 3 workers say they are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a lot of people struggling to get ahead despite the paychecks. And when it comes to emergencies, nearly 4 in 10 adults wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency expense with cash or its equivalent. That's not theory, that's reality for millions of families. People with jobs, people with titles, people you wouldn't expect. So what's really happening? Let me walk you through the 7 traps, and I'll stay with you, hand on your shoulder, because I know how much courage it takes to change. The first trap is the most seductive. Present bias, the pull of immediate rewards. Your brain loves immediate pleasure. It's the voice that whispers, "You deserve this now. You'll figure it out later." I remember my first real raise. I felt like a king. I bought things that made me feel important: nicer clothes, a better car, dinners that cost too much. For a few months I felt wealthy, but then the little bills crept up, and that small sense of wealth evaporated. The raise had become invisible, eaten by the lifestyle upgrade. That's present bias. It's not a moral failing. It's a mismatch between what your brain wants and what your bank account needs. You can beat this. Give your future self a voice today. Automate your savings. Have your paycheck deposit into a savings or investment account before you ever see it. Pay your future self first. If you never see it, you won't miss it, and your future will thank you. This small habit is one of the most powerful weapons against present bias. The second trap is mental accounting, the dangerous belief that some dollars are on extras and some dollars are real. We treat a tax refund like a jackpot and a paycheck like something sacred, or vice versa. I once received a small inheritance, not life-changing money, and I convinced myself it was a gift I could spend guilt-free. I spent it on dinner and trips and a few things to make me feel special. Months later, when the furnace went out and the car needed work, I wished I had kept that money where it belonged, working for me. A dollar is a dollar. Treat it the same, no matter its label. Your future self doesn't care where the money came from. Third trap, overconfidence and the illusion of control. So many people believe they can pick winners, time markets, or beat the crowd. There's a line I remind myself of often. The market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Think about that. Impatience is expensive. I learned that the hard way when I chased a hot stock because I felt smart. I ended up losing money and learning humility. The smarter move isn't to prove you can outguess the market. It's to build systems that favor patience, index funds, regular contributions, and a plan you can actually follow when fear shows up. Speaking of fear, the fourth trap is loss aversion. We feel losses more intensely than gains. If you lose $500, it hurts more than the joy you get from winning $500. This makes us cling to losing decisions longer than we should, and it makes us timid when the best moves require courage. I sat with a friend once as he watched an investment slide. He refused to sell because selling felt like admitting he was wrong. He told himself, "It will come back." But holding on turned a reasonable loss into a catastrophic one. That day I learned, emotion without rules is a recipe for ruin. Give your decisions guardrails. Preset rules for when you will sell, when you will buy more, when you will ignore noise. Rules protect you from moments when your heart races and your head forgets what you agreed to. The fifth trap is social pressure, the relentless, noisy force of comparison. We live in an age where everyone's best moments parade across screens. Keeping up with the Joneses now happens in unlimited HD. I had a cousin who always wanted to match the lifestyle of his colleagues, the car, the vacations, the dinner photos. He never felt secure. His credit cards whispered weeks of worry and months of minimum payments. The truth I wish I could give everyone is, the people you're comparing yourself to are not your competition in wealth. Your competition is your past self. If you beat yesterday, you win. If you match someone else's highlight reel, you might only be buying temporary satisfaction and a lifetime of payments. Let me bring in a little wisdom that's older than any of us. There's a line from Proverbs that has comfort and warning wrapped together. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. That's not just spiritual advice, it's financial. Store, prepare, provide for the season you can predict, and peace will follow. The sixth trap is lack of preparation for emergencies and debt mismanagement. Life will surprise you. Jobs can change, illness can visit, cars can break down. If you have no cushion, every surprise pushes you toward expensive credit. I've sat on many living room couches with friends who use credit cards to survive the short term and then watch those cards grow into a cage of interest payments. The real wealth move is simple. Build a buffer. Start with small, steady savings. Even 1 month of expenses saved reduces anxiety. 2 months reduces vulnerability. 3 months builds resilience. Too many people treat savings like a future problem. It's today's protection. Now stay with me, because we're nearing the last and the most deceptive trap. The seventh trap is the combined force of herd behavior, anchoring, and confirmation bias, the sly trio that makes ordinary people do extraordinary damage to their finances. Herd behavior makes you buy because everyone else bought. Anchoring makes you believe an old price matters more than a new reality. Confirmation bias makes you only hear what you want to hear. I remember when a neighborhood started buying a certain investment because it was the next big thing. People whispered about the gains and the fear of missing out took over. When the tide turned, many were left holding the losses. If you've ever felt the urge to buy because your neighbor did, that's herd behavior. If you ever refused to sell because a stock used to be worth more, that's anchoring. If you only read articles that support your choice and ignore the red flags, that's confirmation bias. All three together can wipe out years of good work. Now, I promised you numbers and proof. Here are facts to anchor your decisions. In a recent national survey, a sizable share of adults said they couldn't cover a $400 emergency with cash, nearly 37% of respondents. That means unexpected costs often lead people to credit cards and long repayment cycles. Another study showed that over a third of workers report living paycheck to paycheck, which means the pressure of daily bills is squeezing people who would otherwise have a chance to save and grow. Those facts aren't judgments, they're signals. They tell you the landscape your decisions are being made in. So, what do? The answers are simple but not easy. You need rules that override emotion. You need habits that make good behavior effortless. I want to give you practical steps, clear, repeatable, and human. First, automate. Put savings and investments on autopilot. When your brain can't spend money it never sees, it can't waste it. Second, treat every dollar equally. No special rules for a bonus or a refund. Third, set pre-commitment decisions. Before you make a big investment or purchase, write down your reasons, your time horizon, and what would change your minds. Having a pre-written plan reduces panic sell behavior and impulsive buying. Fourth, cultivate a purpose-driven money life. Use your money to serve your deepest goals, not other people's timelines. One of the deepest lessons I've learned over the years, and you'll hear this woven through everything I say, is this: your money should serve your purpose, not your ego. I've seen people chase status and burn the ladder behind them. I've seen others choose meaningful investments, slow and steady contributions, and live decades of freedom. The secret isn't clever tricks. The secret is aligning your spending with what matters most to you, then protecting it with rules. There's another voice I want to bring in, not by name, but by wisdom. Imagine a teacher who would say that leadership begins with vision, knowing who you are and what you were put here to do. Apply that to your money. If you have no clear purpose for your money, you will spend it on whatever glitters. But if your money serves a purpose, to secure your family, to grow a business, to fund joy that lasts, then every decision becomes easier. Purpose is the rudder that stops you from drifting with the waves of social pressure and impulse. I want you to write one sentence before you do anything financial. The money I'm about to use will be used to, then finish the sentence. Use that sentence as a test. Does the purchase or investment move you toward that sentence? If yes, proceed. If no, wait. That pause is power. It harnesses the wisdom of purpose and steadies a mind that wants to be swayed. Let me tell you a story, because stories are how we remember the hard things. A woman I knew worked 2 jobs to send her son to a better school. She scrimped, she saved, she skipped vacations, and she refused to buy the flashy life her co-workers flaunted. 10 years later, her son graduated debt-free and started a small business that grew gradually and steadily. That mother could have bought the car and the fancy clothes. She chose a different kind of luxury, delayed gratification. Today, she sits on a porch that came from patience and purpose. That's not sacrifice for its own sake. That's strategy. We live in a world of quick content and quick decisions. That's exactly why the slow work wins. Compound interest, the quiet, patient multiplication of disciplined saving, is almost magical. To give you a taste, putting $200 a month into an investment returning 7% annually for 30 years can grow into a life-changing sum. Those numbers aren't fairy tales, they're math. Patience plus consistency beats frantic timing every time. You might say, but I don't make enough to save $200 a month. I hear you. Start smaller. Put away $25 a week. Put away $10. The point isn't the amount, the point is the habit. Build the muscle, then add a little more when you can. Over time, the muscle grows, and so does the balance. Now I'm going to give you a set of practical rules, short, repeatable, that fight the 7 traps. Rule 1. Automate 20% of any increase in income. If you get a raise, tax refund, or bonus, send 20% straight to investments or savings before you touch a penny. Rule 2. Always keep an emergency fund equal to at least 1 month of expenses and build to 3. Rule 3. Never invest money you'll need in less than 5 years into volatile assets. Rule 4. Have pre-commitment rules for selling. For example, sell if an investment loses 30% and you don't have a reason in writing to keep it. Rule 5. Compare your progress to your past self, not to anyone else. Those guardrails will protect you when emotions rise. Please don't think these are cold rules. They're love. They're the way of protecting your family, your dreams, and your peace. I say them like a father because I have seen too many lives shattered by the absence of them. I want to return to a phrase you should memorize and use. Steward, not owner. You are a steward of the resources you have. That mindset changes everything. Owners consume. Stewards manage for the long-term good. When you see money as stewardship, you start making decisions that build legacy, not just temporary comfort. And before I let you go, I want to leave you with a blunt truth in the voice of someone who knows markets. The market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Hold that phrase. Tattoo it inside your mind. When the crowd chases a shiny thing, patience lets you benefit. When everyone panics, the patient quietly accumulates bargains. When you stay calm, your future self laughs with gratitude. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. Thank you for giving an old man some of your time. Thank you for being willing to look at your own habits. Because the truth is, changing behavior is hard. It takes courage. It takes small daily acts of defiance against temptation. You can do this. Before you go, promise me one thing. Pick one of the rules I gave you and start today. Maybe it's automating $25 a week. Maybe it's writing your money purpose sentence. Maybe it's opening a separate account and labeling it emergency fund and sending any extra money there. Do one practical thing and do it now. The momentum from one small action will carry you farther than another year of undecided wishing. If you want more of this, raw, honest, experience-driven, subscribe to the Millionaire Grandpa channel. I'm here to tell you the truth, to give you practical habits, and to keep you company on a long and good journey. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next lesson, because the best lessons are the ones that become your habits. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for trusting me with a corner of your attention. I believe in you. I want you to live with less worry and more joy. I want you to leave a legacy that isn't measured by likes or flashy photos, but by peace, purpose, and provision. Go start that one small thing now. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, live like a steward, save like a patient person, and spend with purpose. Subscribe to the Millionaire Grandpa channel, and let's get to work together. Thank you truly for staying.